The people of Pakistan have voted with their feet. PTI-backed independents have won over 90 out of the 263 seats, but they're still short of a majority. So there's an impasse right now in Pakistani politics. No single party, it seems, can form a government. What happens next? Joining me to discuss this are Imtiaz Gul, senior journalist from Islamabad, Shalini Chawla, and my colleague Aditya Raj Kaul. Welcome to the News9 Plus Show. Imtiaz, I want to start by asking you, since you're right there in the middle of the maelstrom in Pakistani politics, what exactly happened? It seems the military seems to have delivered on its promise of the elections, but Nawaz Sharif seems to have fallen short.
Well, I think Nawaz Sharif or his party had minimal chances anyway. So there were too much expectations attached to Nawaz Sharif or the ability of his party to pull voters into the polling stations. The sentiment on ground had been very much against the status quo, the civil-military status quo, whether it's the People's Party or the Pakistan Muslim League. I don't think there were a lot of people who would have willingly voted for these conventional mainstream political parties. And I think this is where the calculations went wrong.
Right.
The calculation was that months of repression, different tactics, they would intimidate the PTI, Imran Khan's followers, and they would not turn up for voting. But interestingly, out of the 60 million cast votes, the PTI has polled more than 55%, all the losers as well as the winners. So you can gauge from this staggering number that the people, at least those who voted for independent PTI-backed candidates, they voted against the status quo. This is what I think one of our prime-time anchors, Najm Sethi, was also telling Karan Thapar, that the generals basically tried their best, but they miserably failed.
The generals tried their best, Aditya, and they miserably failed. Were you expecting this kind of a landslide in Pakistan? We've been talking about it for weeks now.
Well, I was certainly expecting that things will not go the way Rawalpindi really wants it to.
Right.
It's not going to be a smooth ride. And that's very much visible in the kind of voting pattern, just like Gul Saab really mentioned here. And it's a setback. It's an embarrassment for the establishment really, which had usually in such circumstances sailed through. They wanted Nawaz Sharif as the Prime Minister with some kind of a easy margins. That clearly is not possible. We have 93 to 94 seats now with the independents, and there are several others who have now approached the courts on the Form 47. So we'll have to wait and see what the verdict really there would be. But one thing is amply clear. This way or that way, it will be Rawalpindi that will finally have their say. And we will perhaps see Nawaz Sharif forming the government. Will it be with the support of the PPP, which is about 54 seats, and perhaps some independents swinging in their favor? Remains to be seen. But again, it will be a coalition government, if at all. And the government will have to be formed in the next 3 weeks. And amply clear that it is not going to be an easy ride. Even if Nawaz Sharif is the Prime Minister with a coalition of PMLN, PPP and smaller political parties. And this really reflects on the fact that what kind of an embarrassment this is for Asim Munir, and who takes the responsibility? The economic fallout, the political fallout, and the security crisis in Pakistan that has been unfolding for months together. Because this is a resounding victory for Imran Khan, who is inside jail, who has been incarcerated. And in fact, the question now is that what will be the future of Imran Khan as well? Will he be exiled? Will he be asked to leave the country? Because now the independents are very much there. And ideally, they would be the ones who should form the government. But as of now, the political crisis and the circus will continue for the next 3 weeks.
Political circus will continue. I want to bring Shalini because she studies the Pakistan military very closely. I've read your book years ago on this, Shalini. What does the Pakistan military do next? They've lost this general election, general in inverted quotes. But as we were discussing, the house never loses. So how do they make the best of what's going on? Is it cobble together a coalition government headed by Nawaz, where the military facilitates this government? How is it going to play out in the next couple of days?
Thank you so much for having me here. And yes, we have seen something very distinct in Pakistan this time, and a lot of expression of the anger and frustration from the masses against the, I would say, dynasty politics, against the establishment's monopoly, political monopoly. So that expression is very, very clear. And this whole, saying has been going around that Pakistan military has not won a single war, but it has never lost an election.
Jung Kaddi Jitti Nai, election Kaddi Hareya Nai.
Yeah. But by and large, this is being talked about that, the military has lost.
Right.
But the end result of the whole process, and I won't repeat what Gul Sahib said and Aditya ji has also said, but, by and large, what we will see in the end is something which Rawalpindi wants.
Right.
A government where Nawaz Sharif will be taking a lead position, or the Sharif brothers, either of them, with PPP. And along with independence. So the journey has been pretty challenging for them.
Right.
They never expected something like that.
Yes.
But we will ultimately, I think what looks like right now that we'll have a coalition government.
Right.
Imran Khan definitely, as Aditya said, that one of the options could be for him to maybe take an exile. But I think his whole popularity and his base of his popular base has been built on this pretext that his resilience to stand against the establishment and for the people of Pakistan. So for him, this option, exercising this option is going to be tough.
Right.
But this is going to be one of the options which kind of he can sustain him till this whole Munir and Sharif's born homie, I would say, hits an expiry date.
Right.
So we will see a challenging path, but I think the ultimate result will be something which Rawalpindi wants. How long that government survives with this whole background, it's going to be seen. And I think that's going to be a challenging path for the coalition government.
And Gul Sahib, this point that Shalini made, that they may have lost this battle, but they will eventually win the war, the Pakistan military, at least this first round. What happens now? Will it be Nawaz Sharif as the Prime Minister, or could it be Shahbaz Sharif, as a lot of people are saying he could be the Prime Minister because he's closer to the Pakistan military? What's your sense on this?
Well, I think I would say in the first place, this argument about the battle and the war. So even if you have won the war, to what extent has it been beneficial for the country as a whole?
Right.
So that's a big question that a lot of people are asking, that in tactical war you can win, but strategically the battle you cannot. Secondly, Nawaz Sharif, I don't know why people are so fixated on Nawaz Sharif. I think that there's a lot of frustration with Nawaz Sharif himself. He is positioning his daughter, Maryam, for any important slot. And what we are likely to see is the Pak's People's Democratic Movement 2 government. We call it PDM 2. And again, we are coming back to the same forces which ruled Pakistan for 16 months after Imran Khan.
Yes.
And we are not expecting anything different. And the problem, however, lies in which way the army wants to take the country.
Right.
Because General Asim Munir has an economic agenda. He made it very clear 3 days ago that Pakistan needs stability, political stability, to cope with the security as well as the economic crisis. But to what extent does his vision basically sink in with the ground realities and the definition of security? Because the way the pronounced results in favor of the independence, PTI-backed independence, basically go against what People's Party, PMLN and Army had been thinking.
Absolutely.
So I don't know to what extent can the Army really chart a way in which it consolidates, invites investments and consolidates the economy. And that perhaps would serve as a balm. But as of now, the situation seems very grim, and we are going to be ruled again by the same status quo as it had existed even today, actually.
Very important point there, Gul Sahib. I'm going to bring in Mr. Avinash Mohananey, who's just joining us. Mr. Mohananey, welcome to the News9 Plus Show.
Thank you, Sandeep. And just one point I want to add here.
Yes.
I was in Islamabad, and Imtiaz Gul was one of the persons with whom I was regularly meeting.
Oh, there you. He's right next to you,
and to my house also.
Right. Okay, that's good. It's a
he
reunion of sorts.
Right.
No, but Mr. Mohananey, this point that Imtiaz raised, that it's going to be the same lot again back in power. So this entire landslide that the people have voted for, I mean, it's a record thing. Over 50% of the mandate is gone to Imran Khan. And if the mandate of the people is not going to be respected, you're going to have like 90 plus independents who are just floating around. Is there going to be some sense of dejection, frustration among the people? It's a very young country, Pakistan. I keep emphasizing this point. It's the median age in Pakistan is 20. It's 28 in India. It's a very young country. How does the youth deal with this frustration of having seen an election being taken away from them?
The problems, Sandeep, in Pakistan are the two serious problems that the political leadership and the army leadership has to handle. The one is the internal security situation, which is aggravating day by day. And the second, as India says, is the economic situation. There are very few jobs left. There is a high rate of inflation, unbelievably high. The power situation is becoming bad. So all those economic indicators are pushing people to the brink.
Right.
There is huge crisis. The education cost is rising. The health cost is rising. Every cost is rising. Now, how that the journey of inflation can be put back in the bottom, it's very difficult for any government, whether it is headed by Nawaz Sharif, Shahbaz Sharif, or maybe even the direct army, or even Imran Khan. What Imran Khan did in those 3.5 years, he did nothing great. So as of now, there are no easy solutions available to any political leadership or army leadership to how to handle, how to go ahead with it. That is why you see there is a lot of frustration among the youth. And any piper coming, singing a tune like Imran Khan, the people go after him. Not that Imran Khan did anything great.
Right.
Have you ever heard of reverse swing happening after Imran Khan and this Wasim Akram moved out?
No.
But the cameras became better?
Good analogy there. Yes.
Then you see even Imran Khan's children are being raised by somebody else.
Yes.
So this man can't take any responsibility for anything.
Right.
So I think it's a people's frustration, people's anger against the army and the America that has come out. And since Imran Khan has taken a position that he's not going to compromise either with the army or with the America.
Right.
So Imran Khan gets all the votes. And had the bat been the symbol, I think the independents would have a clear majority.
Would have a majority. Aditya, this interesting point there, anger, that's like probably a 6th A in Pakistan right now. You have Army, Allah, America, Awam, assassination, and this is the 6th one that you mentioned, Mr. Mohananey.
Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.